Buzz YouTube, how's it going everybody? Got for y'all today another 6th gen Wi-Fi battle. And actually, before I get into talking about the team preview, I have something that I kind of want to talk to you guys about right quick regarding Wi-Fi battles. And actually, I've been thinking about probably streaming a couple days out of the week, although I know Shefu streams like every day or something. So I'm going to try to stream before he streams or something along those lines, so I don't stream while he streams and just, yeah, but I will probably start streaming sometime this week, so you guys can come to my stream and challenge me so I can get Wi-Fi battles so I can upload for you guys. Also, I do have a Facebook fan page and a Skype, which are always in the description down below, so if you guys would like to add me on Skype or my Facebook fan page to ask me for battles, then feel free to do so. And yeah, that's all I really have to talk about. I don't really want to ramble on too much. Now, looking at my opponent's team, there's not really anything I'm too worried about, or at least that's what I thought going into this battle. The main thing I was going to be worried about was going to be my opponent's Scizor, and that is only if he does turn out to be the Mega Evolution, and if he goes for a Sword Dance and I lose my Rotom, that could be very bad for me. But yeah, I'm going to be leading off with my Smeargle, as he's going to be leading off with a Trevenant, and I knew he would lead off with this just because, I mean, Smeargle is 9 times out of 10 anybody's lead. So knowing that grass types can be put to sleep this generation with Spore, I'm going to go straight for Lair Spikes, and I'm going to go for the Sticky Web, as he ends up taking me out with his second Horn Leech, which I'm perfectly fine with. My Smeargle is only here to get up Spikes and get up Sticky Web. Then I end up switching into my Goodra because I thought, alright, I can go for the Fire Blast, knock this thing out. But due to the fact that he has a Florges, I decided to go for the Sludge Bomb, which doesn't really do anything to this Trevenant, as he ends up burning me with the Will-O-Wisp, which is fine because next turn I'm going to go for the Fire Blast, but I missed. And I wasn't too upset because, I mean, it's Fire Blast, it's 85 accuracy, I can't complain about that. So as it goes with the Phantom Force, I don't want to take the unnecessary damage, and I know I am faster than him, so if I went for the Fire Blast, I still wouldn't be able to hit him. So I decided to switch into my Rotom thinking, hey, I can take this hit, and that actually does a really good amount of damage. So I then go for the Will-O-Wisp, and I missed the Will-O-Wisp. So yeah, as you can see, this is really not going good for me right now. So he ends up going for the Leech Seed. I'm thinking, okay, this turn, I'm going to go for the Volt Switch, as he's probably going to go for the Will-O-Wisp. I can bring in Goodra, then maybe hit it with a Fire Blast, but he actually ends up switching into his Florges, I guess maybe predicting me to go for another Will-O-Wisp. So the fact that I switched up moves was really good for me because it looked like I actually predicted him to switch out when I really didn't. That was actually dumb luck on my part. So I Volt Switch into my Kangaskhan because I know that he has Trevenant. I'm actually not going to go ahead and Mega Evolve because this Kangaskhan does indeed have Scrappy. So I end up going straight for the Fake Out, knowing that he would end up bringing in the Trevenant. This way I can kind of start to wear him down. Unfortunately, this Fake Out does nowhere near enough damage, and I know that a return will not knock him out. So I predict him to go for the Will-O-Wisp or go for the Horn Leech, and I switch into my Goodra. As he does end up going for the Horn Leech, I'm able to take the hit relatively well, I guess, and then this turn I can hit this thing up with the Fire Blast or hit the incoming Florges with the Fire Blast, and I believe he does just end up staying in. And I actually ended up double switching into my Kangaskhan because I thought that he would bring in Florges, and yeah, he did stay in. I don't know if he predicted that or what, but he's able to lead see my Kangaskhan, which was fairly annoying. And at this point, I'm not gonna lie, I really got frustrated because I can't do anything to Trevenant. My Mamoswine only has Ice Shard, which I know will not be able to knock out this Trevenant in one hit, and then it can just burn me with the Will-O-Wisp or get off a huge hit with the Horn Leech. And I'm just really frustrated at this point because I don't know how to take this damn thing down. So I switch out into my Goodra, predicting him to go for the Will-O-Wisp, which is exactly what happens. As it turns out that he has a Citrus Berry, I'm hoping that he doesn't get his Harvest. So what I'm going to do this turn is go straight for the Fire Blast, hoping that maybe I can burn him, I can get a crit or something. And this Fire Blast does do a very good amount of damage. Luckily for me, he doesn't get his Harvest, and above that he actually misses his Leech Seed. So I kind of got a little bit of luck right here, and then I'm going to be able to knock him out next turn with the Sludge Bomb because I thought he would switch out into Florges, trying to pass off a Wish to Trevenant possibly later on in the game. But finally, I'm able to get rid of the giant nuisance known as Trevenant, which is really good for me because now I know my Mega Kangaskhan will be able to put in some work eventually when I do end up Mega Evolving. So he ends up bringing in his Florges, and I'm thinking, alright, at this point Goodra is basically useless to me. I do have the Sludge Bomb, but I know that won't do much damage to the Florges, so I'm just going to save my Goodra for Death Rider and switch directly into my Aegislash, which I know cannot be touched by this Florges. So I feel comfortable by just staying in and maybe going for a Swords Dance, although I know there is an off chance that he could possibly switch out. So what I'm going to do is actually switch into my Kangaskhan. This way I can Mega Evolve on whatever he decides to switch in, but he actually ends up going for the Wish, I guess predicting me to go for a Swords Dance, which isn't a bad play whatsoever. But this now is my perfect opportunity to go ahead and Mega Evolve, knowing that whatever comes in is going to get hit twice by a Fake Out. Unfortunately though, he did go for the Wish, so he basically gets a free switch into a Scizor, and my Mega Kangaskhan's 2 Fake Outs are going to do literally nothing to this Scizor once he does end up getting the Wish. So I go for the double Fake Out, get a crit on the first one, then the second one does like practically no damage, but as I said, I do literally nothing to the Scizor as he gets the Wish. And unfortunately I do not want to stay in and take a possible superpower, which was really dumb of me because I don't think Scizor can actually get superpower just yet, so maybe I should have stayed in and gone for the power up punch. But I also did predict him to go for the Swords Dance because my Rotom does carry Will-O-Wisp. I can bring in Rotom and burn him, and thankfully I am faster than him, so I do manage to nullify his attack as he goes for the Thief, which I didn't find odd at all because I know I've seen Joey run Thief on Scizor, so that didn't really catch me off guard. And I'm just going to take this opportunity to go for the rest. Luckily for me, he did not go for the Bullet Punch. I guess maybe he thought that he wouldn't be able to knock me out, but I am indeed a Resto Chesto set, so I'm able to live the U-turn. But still, at neutral attack, that U-turn did a whole lot of damage. Like, holy crap. Mega Scizor is insanely powerful. So he U-turns out into his Florges, which I can literally do nothing to, and I was just really hoping that he would not have the aromatherapy. So I end up going for the Volt Switch, and I believe I actually Volt Switch into my Mamoswine because I knew that this would be my perfect opportunity to get up my Stealth Rocks. That way I can start getting that extra bit of damage on his team. And of course he has the aromatherapy, and at this point I was like, if I allow that Scizor to get up at least a Swords Dance, I know that I will be potentially screwed because my Rotom is at about 50% HP and is not going to be able to live a +2 stabbed U-turn. So he ends up going for the Petal Blizzard, which I found very odd. I don't even know what Petal Blizzard does, but yeah, it does practically nothing to my Mamoswine. Then this turn, I'm actually going to go for the Stone Edge, predicting him to predict me to go for the Earthquake and bring in the Noivern, but he actually brings in the Abalug, and after the entry hazard damage, I'm able to knock him out with the Stone Edge thanks to the crit. Now, the crit did matter in the sense that I one-hit KO'd him, but next turn, I could have easily gone for an Earthquake or another Stone Edge, so in the end, I don't think the crit was entirely game-changing, although I was able to get rid of the Avalugg in one hit. So as he brings in the Greninja, I was about to say Froakie, even after the Sticky Web, I'm not confident in the fact that my Mamoswine will be able to outspeed him, so I end up switching directly into my Goodra, knowing that he's going to go straight for the Hydro Pump, then possibly switch up moves to go for the Ice Beam. And if he does end up being choice in some sort, maybe I can live another Hydro Pump and get off a good amount of damage with the Dragon Pulse, if not possibly knock him out. But he does end up switching up his moves, so I guess maybe he's extra belted or something along those lines. Although now I'm going to be able to get a free, awesome, well-needed switch into my Kangaskhan, and I'm going to go straight for the double Fake Out. I really wanted to go for the Power Up Punch, and if I had just done that, this would have been so great, because then I would have been able to knock out Florges next turn, and I would have had a +2 Kangaskhan ready to sweep through his team. But in the end, I knew Fake Out was definitely my safest play, so I went for that as he brings in the Scizor. I'm just really hoping that he doesn't have the superpower, which again, I don't even think Scizor can get superpower this generation. So what I'm going to do is go for the Power Up Punch, predicting him to predict me to switch out and go for the U-turn, and that is exactly what happens. Thankfully, I'm able to live this hit, and now I'm at +2, and Kangaskhan at +2 is extremely dangerous. So he brings in a Noivern. I have not revealed to him that I have Sucker Punch just yet, so that's why I'm actually going to go for it now, knowing that he will end up going for an offensive move, and I knock him out with one Sucker Punch as he then brings in the Scizor. I'm thinking, alright, this turn is going to predict me to go for Sucker Punch, and he's going to go for the Roost. So what I'm going to do is actually go for the Power Up Punch, but no, he does go for the Bullet Punch. Thankfully, I'm able to just barely live on 12 HP, knock him out with the Power Up Punch, and at this point, his last Pokemon is Greninja, which with my Kangaskhan being at +3, will be able to easily knock him out with the Sucker Punch after all the entry hazard damage that this Greninja has taken, and that's going to be the victory in my favor. So yeah, that was definitely a fun, crazy game. I definitely thought I was going to get swept by that Scizor. Luckily though, Kangaskhan pulled through and I was able to get rid of that giant ass threat. If you guys missed my previous upload, which was my very first Pokemon Showdown Live in 6th Gen, that video is playing on your screen. Click that. There should be a link right there that will take you to that video and you guys can go check that out. But if you guys enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe for some more content. As I said, I will be hopefully streaming sometime this week and in the future so I can get more Wi-Fi battles to upload for you guys and actually even battle you guys. So with that, I've rambled on enough and I do believe I am out of here. Later everybody.